will be reading The Brute, a joke in one act by Anton Chekhov, translated by Eric Bentley. Mrs. Popov, widow and landowner, small with dimpled cheeks. Oh, look at them cute little dimples. So cute. Mr. Gregory S. Smirnov, gentleman farmer, middle-aged. Luka, Mrs. Popov's footman, a very old man. The gardener, the coachman, and the hired man. The drawing of a room of a country house. Mrs. Popov, in deep mourning, is staring hard at a photograph. Luka is with her. It's not right, ma'am. You're killing yourself. The cook has gone off with the maid to pick berries. The cat's having a high old time in the yard catching birds. Everything living thing is happy. But you stay moping here in the house like it was convent, taking no pleasure in nothing. I mean it, ma'am. It must be a full year since you set foot out of doors. I must never set foot out of doors again, Luka. Never! I have nothing to set foot out of doors for. My life is done. He is in his grave. I have buried myself alive in this house. We are both in our graves. You're off again, ma'am. I just won't listen to you no more. Mr. Popov is dead, but what can we do about that? It's God's doing. God's will be done. You've cried over him. You've done your share of mourning, haven't you? There's a limit to everything. You can't go on weeping and wailing forever. My old lady died, for that matter, and I wept and wailed over her a whole month long. Well, that was it. I couldn't weep and wail all my life. She just wasn't worth it. As for the neighbors, you've forgotten all about them, ma'am. You don't visit them, and you don't let them visit you. You and I are like a pair of spiders. Excuse the expression, ma'am. Here we are in this house like a pair of spiders. We never see the light of day. And it isn't like there was no nice people around, either. The whole country's swarming with 'em. There's a regiment quartered at Riblov, and the officers are so good-looking. The girls can't take their eyes off of them. There's a ball at the camp every Friday. The military band plays most every day of the week. What do you say, ma'am? You're young, you're pretty, you could enjoy yourself. 10 years from now you may want to strut and show your feathers to the officers, and it'll be too late. You must never bring this subject up again, Luka. Since Popov died, life has been an empty dream to me. You know that. You may think I am alive. Poor ignorant Luka. You are wrong. I am dead. I am in my grave. Never more shall I see the light of day. Never strip from my body this raiment of death. Are you listening, Luka? Let a ghost learn how I love him. Yes, I know, and you know. He was often unfair to me. He was cruel to me. And he was unfaithful to me. What of it? I shall be faithful to him. That's all. I will show him how I can love. Hereafter, in a better world than this, he will welcome me back, the same loyal girl I always was. Instead of carrying on this way, ma'am, you should go out in the garden and take a bit of a walk, ma'am. Or why not harness Toby and take a drive? Call on a couple of the neighbors, ma'am? Oh, Luka! Yes, ma'am. What have I said, ma'am? Oh, dear. Toby! You said Toby! He adored that horse. When he drove me out to the Korchikins and the Vlezovs, it was always with Toby. He was a wonderful driver. Do you remember, Luka? So graceful, so strong. I can see him now, pulling at those reins with all his might and main. Toby! Luka, tell them to give Toby an extra portion of oats today. Yes, ma'am. Who is that? Tell them I'm not at home. Very good, ma'am. You shall see, my Popov, how a wife can love and forgive. Till death do us part. Longer than that. Till death reunite us forever. Aren't you ashamed of yourself, Popov? Here's your little wife, being good. being faithful, so faithful she's locked up here waiting for her own funeral. While you, doesn't it make you ashamed, you naughty boy? You were terrible, you know. You were unfaithful, and you made those awful scenes about it. You stormed out and left me alone for weeks. There's someone asking for you, ma'am. Says he must. I suppose you told him that since my husband's death I see no one. Yes, ma'am, I did, ma'am, but he wouldn't listen, ma'am. He says it's urgent. I see no one! He won't take no for an answer, ma'am. He just curses and swears and comes in anyway. He's a perfect monster, ma'am. He's in the dining room right now. In the dining room, is he? I'll give him his comeuppance. Bring him in here this minute. Why did they do this to me? Why? Insulting my grief, intruding on my solitude. I'm afraid I'll have to enter a convent. I will. I must enter a convent. Don't, idiot! You talk too much! May I have the honor of introducing myself, madam? Grigory S. Smirnov, Landover and Lieutenant of Artillery, retired. Forgive me, madam, if I disturb your peace and quiet, but my business is both urgent and weighty. What is it you wish, sir? At the time of his death, your late husband, with whom I had the honor to be acquainted, ma'am, was in my debt to the tune of 1,200 roubles. I have 2 notes to prove it. Tomorrow, ma'am, I must pay the interest on a bank loan. I have therefore no alternative, ma'am, but to ask you to pay me the money today. 1,200 roubles! But what did my husband owe it to you for? He used it to buy his oats from me, madam. Remember what I said, Luca. Tell them to give Toby an extra portion of oats today. My dear Mr. What is the name again? Smirnov, ma'am. My dear Mr. Smirnov, if Mr. Popov owed you money, you shall be paid, to the last rouble, to the last kopeck. But today, you must excuse me, Mr. What was it? Smirnov, ma'am. Today, Mr. Smirnov, I have no ready cash in the house. Tomorrow, Mr. Smirnov. No, the day after tomorrow. All will be well. My steward will be back from town. I shall see what he pays. I shall see that he pays what is owing. Today, no. In any case, today is exactly 7 months from Mr. Popov's death. On such a day, you will understand that I am in no mood to think of money. Madam, if you don't pay up now, you can carry me out feet foremost. They'll seize my estate. You can have your money. Oh, tomorrow. That is, the day after tomorrow. I don't need the money the day after tomorrow. I need it today. I'm sorry, Mr. Smirnov. Yes, of course. But you can't have it today. But I can't wait for it any longer. Be sensible, Mr. Smirnov. How can I pay you if I don't have it? You don't have it? I don't have it. Sure? Positive. Very well. I'll make a note to that effect. And then they want me to keep cool. I meet the tax commissioner on the street, and he says, "Why are you always in such a bad humor, Smirnov?" Bad humor! How can I help it, in God's name? I need money. I need it desperately. Take yesterday. I leave home at the crack of dawn. I call on my debtors. Not a one of them pays up. Footsore and weary, I creep at midnight into some little dive, and I try to snatch a few winks of sleep on the floor by the vodka barrel. Then today I come here, 50 miles from home, saying to myself, at last, I can be sure of something, and you're not in the mood. You give me a mood. Christ, how can I help getting all worked up? I thought I'd made it clear, Mr. Smirnov, that you'll get your money the minute my steward is back from town. What the hell do I care about your steward? Pardon the expression, ma'am, but it was you I came to see. What language! What tone to take to a lady! I refuse to hear another word! Not in the mood, huh? Exactly 7 months since Popop's death, huh? How about me? Is there this interest to pay? Or isn't there? I'm asking you a question. Is there this interest to pay? Or isn't there? So your husband died and you're not in the mood and your steward's gone off someplace. And your steward's gone off someplace and so forth and so on. But what can I do about all that, huh? What do you think I should do? Take a running jump and shove my head through the wall? Take off in a balloon? You don't know my other debtors. I call on Grozdev, not at home. I look for Yaroshevich. He's hiding out. I find Kritzin. He kicks up a row and I have to throw him through the window. I work my way right down the list. Not a kopeck. Then I come to you, and good God damn it to hell if you'll pardon the expression, you're not in the mood. I've spoiled them all, that's what. I've let them play me for a sucker. Well, I'll show them. I'll show this one. I'll stay right here till she pays up. Oh, I'm rage. I'm in a positively towering rage. Every nerve in my body is trembling. At 40 to the dozen, I can't breathe. I feel ill. I think I'm going to faint. Hey, you there! Yes, sir? Is there anything you wish, sir? Water! Water! No. Make it vodka! Consider the logic of it. A fellow creature is desperately in need of cash. So desperately in need that he has to seriously contemplate hanging himself. And this woman, this mere chit of a girl, won't pay up. And why not? Because forsooth she isn't in the mood. Oh, the logic of women! Come to that, I never have liked them. I could do without the whole sex. Talk to a woman? I'd rather sit on a barrel of dynamite. The very thought gives me gooseflesh. Women, creatures of poetry and romance. Just to see one in existence gets me mad. My legs start twitching with rage. I feel like yelling for help. Mr. Popov, Mrs. Popov is indisposed, sir. She is seeing no one. Get out. Indisposed, is she? Seeing no one, huh? Well, she can see me or not, but I'll be here. I'll be right here till she pays up. If you're sick for a week, I'll be here for a week. If you're sick for a year, I'll be here for a year. You won't get around me with your windows weeds and your schoolgirl dimples. I know all about dimples. Semyon, let the horses out of those shafts. We're not leaving. We're staying. And I tell them to give the horses some oats. Yes, oats, you fool. What do you think? What a mess. What an unholy mess. I didn't sleep last night. The heat is terrific today. Not a damn one of them is paid up. And here's this skirt in mourning that's not in the mood. My head aches. Where's that water? Ugh! You there! Yes, sir. You wish for something, sir? Where's that confounded vodka I asked for? A fine figure of a man I am. Unwashed, uncombed, unshaven, straw in my vest, dust all over me. The little woman must have mistaken me for a highwayman. I suppose it wouldn't be considered polite to barge into a drawing room in this state, but who cares? I'm not a visitor. I'm a creditor. Most unwelcome of guests, second only to death. If I may so, sir, you take too many liberties, sir. What? Oh, nothing, sir, nothing. Who in hell do you think you're talking to? Shut your mouth. There is an evil spirit abroad. The devil must have sent him. Oh, what a rage I'm in! I'll grind the whole world to powder. Oh, I feel ill again. You there! In the solitude of my rural retreat, Mr. Smirnov, I've long since grown unaccustomed to the sound of the human voice. Above all, I cannot bear shouting. I must beg you not to break the silence. Very well. Pay me my money, and I'll go. I told you before, and I'll tell you again, Mr. Smirnov, I have no cash. You'll have to wait till the day after tomorrow. Can I express myself more plainly? And I told you before, and I tell you again, that I need the money today, that the day after tomorrow is too late, and if you don't pay, and pay now, I'll have to hang myself in the morning. But I have no cash. This is quite a puzzle. You won't pay, huh? I can't pay, Mr. Smirnov. In that case, I'm going to sit here and wait. You'll pay up the day after tomorrow? Very good. Till the day after tomorrow, here I sit. Now, look, do I have to pay that interest tomorrow, or don't I? Or do you think I'm joking? I must ask you not to raise your voice, Mr. Smirnov. This is not a stable. Who said it was? Do I have to pay the interest tomorrow or not? Mr. Smirnov, do you know how to behave in the presence of a lady? No, madam, I do not know how to behave in the presence of a lady. Just what I thought. I look at you and I say, ugh! I hear you talk and I say to myself, that man doesn't know how to talk to a lady. You'd like me to come simpering to you in French, I suppose. Enchanté, madame. Merci beaucoup for not paying the money, madame. Pardonnez-moi if I have disturbed you, madame. How charmant you look in the morning, madame. Now you're being silly, Mr. Smirnov. No, me too, Mr. Smirnov. You don't know how to talk to a lady, Mr. Smirnov. Look here, Mrs. Popov. I've known more women than you've known pussycats. I've fought 3 duels on their account. I've jilted 12 and been jilted by 9 others. Oh, yes, Mrs. Popov, I've played the fool in my time, whispered sweet nothing, bowed and scraped and endeavored to please. Don't tell me I don't know what it is to love, to pine away with longing, to have the blues, to melt like butter, to be weak as water. I was full of tender emotion. I was carried away, passion. I squandered half my fortune on the sex. I chattered about women's emancipation, but there's an end to everything, dear madam. Burning eyes, dark eyelashes, ripe, red lips, dimpled cheeks, heaving bosoms, soft whisperings, the moon above, the lake below. I don't give a rap for that sort of nonsense any more, Mrs. Popov. I found out about women. Present company excepted, they're liars. Their behavior is mere play acting. Their conversation is sheer gossip. Yes, dear lady, women, young or old, are false, petty, vain, cruel, malicious, unreasonable. As for intelligence, any sparrow could give them points. Appearances, I admit, can be deceptive. In appearance, a woman may be all poetry and romance, goddess and angel, muslin and fluff. To look at her exterior is to be transported to heaven. But I have looked at her interior, Mrs. Popov, and what did I find there, in her very soul? A crocodile! And what is more revolting, a crocodile with an illusion, a crocodile that imagines tender sentiments are its own special province, a crocodile that thinks itself queen of the realm of love. Whereas, in sober fact, dear madam, if a woman can love anything except a lapdog, you can hang me by the feet on that nail. For a man, love is suffering, love is sacrifice. A woman just swishes her train around and tightens her grip on your nose. Now you're a woman, aren't you, Mrs. Popov? You must be an expert on some of this. Tell me, quite frankly, did you ever know a woman to be faithful, for instance, or even sincere? Only old hags, huh? Though some women are old hags from birth. But as for the others, you're right. A faithful woman is a freak of nature, like a cat with horns. Who is faithful, then? Who have you cast for the faithful lover? Not man. Right first time, Mrs. Popov. Man. Man is faithful. That's a new one. What right do you have to say this, Mr. Smirnov? Men faithful? Let me tell you something. Of all the men I've ever known, my late husband Popov was the best. I loved him, and there are women who know how to love Mr. Smirnov. I gave him my youth, my happiness, my life, my fortune. I worshipped the ground he trod on, and what happened? The best of men was unfaithful to me, Mr. Smirnov. Not once in a while, all the time. After he died, I found his dress drawer full of love letters. While he was alive, he was always going away for the weekend. He squandered my money. He made love to other women before my very eyes. But in spite of all, Mr. Smirnov, I was faithful unto death and beyond. I am still faithful, Mr. Smirnov. Buried alive in this house, I shall wear mourning till the day I, too, am called to my eternal rest. Ha ha ha! Expect me to believe that? As if I couldn't see through all this hocus pocus. Buried alive till you're called to your eternal rest. Till when? Till some little poet or some little subaltern with his first mustache comes riding by and asks, "Can that be the house mysterious Tamara who for love of her late husband has buried herself alive, vowing to see no man?" How dare you? How dare you insinuate? You may have buried yourself alive, Mrs. Popov, but you haven't forgotten to powder your nose. Who's raising his voice now? Just because I call a spade, because I shoot straight from the shoulder? Well, don't shout at me. I'm not your steward. I'm not shouting. You're shouting. Leave me alone. Pay me the money and I will. You'll get no money out of me. Oh, so that's it. Not a ruble, not a kopeck. Get out. Leave me alone. Not being your husband, I must ask you not to make scenes with me. I don't like scenes. Sitting down? Correct. I'm sitting down. I asked you to leave. Then give me the money. Oh, what a rage I'm in. What a rage. The impudence of man. I won't talk to you a moment longer. Get out. Are you going? No. No? No. On your head be it. Luca! Show the gentleman out, Luca. I'm afraid, sir, I'll have to ask you to, leap, sir, now. Shut your mouth, you old idiot. Who do you think you're talking to? I'll make mincemeat of you. Oh, mercy on us. Holy saints above. I'm taken sick. I can't breathe. Then where's Dasha? Dasha, Dasha, come here at once. They gone picking berries, ma'am. I'm alone here. Water, water, I'm taken sick. Get out, you. Can't you even be polite with me, Mrs. Popov? Wolf, you're a wild animal. You were never housebroken. What? What did you say? I said you were a wild animal. You were never housebroken. And what right do you have to talk to me like that? Like what? You have insulted me, madam. What of it? Do you think I'm scared of you? So you think you can get away with it because you're a woman, a creature of poetry and romance, huh? Well, it doesn't go down with me. I hereby challenge you to a duel. Mercy on us! Holy saints alive! I propose we shoot it out. Trying to scare me again? Just because you have big fists and a voice like a bull, you're a brute. No one insults Grigory S. Smirnov with impunity, and I don't care if you are a female. Brute, brute, brute! The sexes are equal, are they? Fine, then it's just prejudice to expect men alone to pay for insults. I hereby challenge. All right! You want to shoot it out? All right! Let's shoot it out! And let it be here and now. Here and now. All right! I'll take Popov's pistols here in 1 minute. Putting one of Popov's bullets through your silly head will be a pleasure. Au revoir. I'll bring her down like a duck, a sitting duck. I'm not one of you little poets. I'm no little subaltern with his first mustache. No, sir. There's no weaker sex where I'm concerned. Sir! Master! Take pity on a poor old man and do me a favor. Go away. It was bad enough before. You nearly scared me to death. But a duel... A duel, that's equality of the sexes for you. That's women's emancipation. Just a matter of principle, I'll bring her down like a duck. But what a woman! Putting one of Papa's bullets through your silly head. Her cheeks were flushed, her eyes were gleaming. And by God, she's accepted the challenge. I never knew a woman like this before. Sir, master, please go away. I'll always pray for you. What a woman! She's no sourpuss. She's no crybaby. She's fire and brimstone. She's a human cannonball. What shame I have to kill her. Please, kind sir, go away. I like her. Isn't that funny? With those dimples and all. I like her. I'm even prepared to consider letting her off that debt. And where's my rage? It's gone. I never knew a woman like this before. Pistols, Mr. Smirnov! But before we start, you better show me how it's done. I'm not too familiar with these things. In fact, I never gave a pistol a second look. Lord have mercy on us, I must go hunt up the gardener and the coachman. Why has this catastrophe fallen upon us, oh Lord? Well, it's like this. There are several makes. One is the Mortimer, with capsules especially constructed for dueling. What you have here are Smith & Wesson triple-action revolvers, with extractor first-rate job worth 90 rubles at the very least. You hold it this way. My God, what eyes she has. They're setting me on fire. This way? Yes, that's right. You cock the trigger, take aim like this, head up, arm out like this. Then you just press with this finger here, and it's all over. The main thing is, keep cool, take slow aim, and don't let your arm jump. I see. And if it's inconvenient to do the job here, we can go out in the garden. Very good. Of course I should warn you. I'll be firing in the air. What? This is the end? Why? Oh, well, because... for private reasons. Scared, huh? Now don't you try to get out of it, Mr. Smirnov. My blood is up. I won't be happy till I've drilled a hole through that skull of yours. Follow me. What's the matter? Scared? That's right, I'm scared. Oh, come on, what's the matter with you? Well, Mrs. Popov, I like you. Good God! He likes me, does he? The gall of the man! You may leave, Mr. Smirnov. Listen, Mrs. Popov. Are you still mad at me? I'm in the devil of a temper myself, of course, but then, you see, what I mean is, it's this way. The fact is, well, it's my fault, damn it, if I like you. Is it my fault, damn it, if I like you? Christ, what fragile furniture you have here. I like you, know what I mean? I could fall in love with you. I hate you. Get out. What a woman. I never saw anything like it. Oh, I'm lost. I'm done for. I'm in a mousetrap. Leave this house or I shoot. Shoot away. What bliss to die of a shot that was fired by that little velvet hand, to die gazing into those enchanting eyes. I'm out of my mind, I know. You must decide at once. Think for 1 second, then decide. Because if I leave now, I'll never be back. Decide. I'm a pretty decent chap. Landed gentleman, I should say. 10,000 a year, good stable. Throw a kopeck up in the air and I'll put a bullet through it. Will you marry me? We'll shoot it out. Get going. Take your pistol. I'm out of my mind. I don't understand anything anymore. You there, that vodka. No excuses, no delays. We'll shoot it out. I'm out of my mind. I'm falling in love. I have fallen in love. Ah! I love you. I love you as I've never loved before. I jilted 12 and was jilted by 9 others. But I didn't love one of them as I love you. I'm full of tender emotion. I'm melting like butter. I'm weak as water. I'm on my knees like a fool, and I offer you my hand. It's a shame. It's a disgrace. I haven't been in love in 5 years. I took a vow against it, and now, all of a sudden, to be swept off my feet. It's a scandal. I offer you my hand, dear lady. Will you or won't you? You won't? Then don't. I didn't say anything. What? Oh, nothing. You can go. Well, no, just a minute. No, you can go. Go! I detest you. But just a moment. Oh, if you knew how furious I feel. My fingers have gone to sleep holding that horrid thing. And what are you standing around for? Get out of here. Goodbye. Go, go, go! Where are you going? Wait a minute. No, no. It's all right. Just go. I'm fighting mad. Don't come near me. Don't come near me. I'm pretty disgusted with myself. Falling in love like a kid, going down on my knees like some moon-gazing whippersnapper. The very thought gives me goose-flesh. I love you, but it doesn't make sense. Tomorrow I have to pay that interest, and we've already started mowing. I shall never forgive myself for this. Take your hands off me! I hate you! Let's shoot it out! Mercy on us! Holy saints alive! Nuka, tell them in the stable that Toby is not to have any oats today. Thank you. That is the end. Starring this sweet little black-footed ferret as Mrs. Popov. Shumel the Coyote as Mr. Smirnoff. Batman as Luca. Oogie Boogie as the gardener. Impossible as the coachman. Umbreon and Mew as the hired man. And that's it. Thanks for playing. Bye-bye.